Chosen one, this is for you. You've been running, haven't you? Trying to figure it all out, trying to keep it together. The noise of the world has been loud, too loud. And somewhere inside you, a whisper's been getting buried under all the chaos. But that whisper, that's Him. That's God. And He's saying stop right now, because He's about to reveal what's next. Before we go any further, do one thing for your spirit. Hit that like button if you feel this message stirring something inside you. It's not just a click, it's a declaration of faith. And make sure you're subscribed, not to follow a channel, but to join thousands of other chosen one souls walking this same divine path together. Now, take a breath. You can feel it, can't you? The weight you've been carrying, it's about to lift. For months, maybe even years, you've felt like you've been on the edge of something big, but every time you get close, something pushes back. Every door you knock on seems to close just as your hand reaches the handle. Every plan falls apart right when you start to believe again. God says, "That was me." You see, not every closed door was rejection. Some were protection. Not every delay was denial. Some were divine redirection. You thought you were being punished, but you were being prepared. The reason it hurts so much is because you were still holding on to things that couldn't go where He's taking you next. So when everything started falling apart, that job, that friendship, that plan, it wasn't destruction, it was pruning. He says, I had to take away what you thought you needed to show you what you really carry. Chosen one, you've been asking for confirmation. This is it. This is your sign. You've been praying, God, if this is you, give me a sign. He just did. He led you here. Because this message isn't for the many. It's for the few, the ones set apart, the ones who never quite fit in because they weren't meant to. God says, you are not crazy, you are called. You've been feeling this shift deep inside, haven't you? Like something in your spirit has been waking up, stirring, trying to break free from the version of you the world tried to shape. That's because the old you is gone. The new you, the divine you, is rising. You've entered a spiritual season that demands your attention. This isn't a time for distraction or doubt. It's a time to realign with the purpose that's been waiting on you. God says, I'm calling my chosen ones out of hiding. And you, yes you, are one of them. I know you've been tired. I know you felt unseen, unheard, misunderstood. You've watched people rise who didn't even have half your heart, half your faith, half your fire. You've wondered, God, when is it my time? He says, now. Comment 757. If your spirit just felt that number isn't superstition. It's a divine agreement. Heaven's way of saying complete, fulfilled, aligned. Type it as your declaration. You're ready to receive what God has been holding in His hand for you. Because listen, this isn't a random encouragement. This is a transmission from heaven. God says, you've carried enough. Enough pain, enough guilt, enough self-blame for things you couldn't control. You've been trying to make sense of everything that broke you, but it wasn't meant to make sense. It was meant to make strength. You had to lose who you thought you were so you could become who you really are. And now, it's happening. The shift, the one your spirit has been feeling. You're stepping into divine alignment, a phase where everything that once resisted you will now recognize you. Opportunities will open, doors will unlock. People will appear who are sent by God, not drawn by your struggle, but called by your light. You thought the delay meant He forgot you. He didn't forget you. He was forming you. That isolation you went through, that silence, that season where nothing seemed to move, it wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Because when God builds something that lasts, He builds it in secret first. Chosen one, The reason you felt hidden was because heaven was working behind the curtain. God had to hide you until you were ready to be revealed. You've been in the dark, not because you were lost, but because seeds grow underground. And now, he says, it's time to rise. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never entered. Your favor is being multiplied in ways you can't yet see. The promises you cried over are already in motion. But here's what you must do. Stop fighting battles that are beneath your calling. Every time you respond to negativity, every time you argue with someone who doesn't understand your mission, you're wasting divine energy meant for your next chapter. God says, stop trying to prove your worth to people I never assigned to your life. Your validation doesn't come from likes, titles, or approval. It comes from the throne. And if God has already approved you, no human opinion can cancel what heaven has confirmed. Comment 777. Again, if you're done explaining yourself to people who were never meant to understand your assignment, the ones who walked away from you. They had to. The betrayal that broke you, it was necessary. The silence that scared you, it was sacred. You were never being punished. You were being promoted. But you couldn't see it because you were still surrounded by noise. So God says, I had to quiet your circles so you could finally hear my voice. Now listen, I need you to understand this. What's about to happen next will not make logical sense. You're about to witness supernatural alignment. Things you've prayed for years will suddenly manifest in days. Connections will form overnight. Money will appear from unexpected places. Healing will hit your body, your home, your mind, your heart, faster than you ever imagined, because heaven has just issued a command. It's time. And when heaven says it's time, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop it. God says, the delay is over. The doors that stayed closed for so long weren't locked. They were waiting for divine timing. You've been trying to open them with effort, but they only respond to alignment. And you've just aligned because you stopped chasing what wasn't yours. You stopped begging for what was beneath you. You stopped lowering your standard to be accepted by people who never saw your value. God says, now I can bless you publicly because you trusted me privately. That's why this message found you now, because you're ready. You had to walk through the wilderness before you could enter the promised land. You had to lose your way so you could finally find His way. Every setback was a setup. Every no was a not yet. Every delay was divine timing disguised as disappointment. And now, the season of hiddenness is ending. The storm is clearing. The clouds are parting. The light you carry is about to be seen by the world. Chosen one. The same people who doubted you are about to watch God exalt you. The same mouths that gossiped about you will speak your name with reverence, because this time the blessing won't be quiet. God says, I'm about to make an example out of you, of my faithfulness, of my promise, of my power. You don't need to explain what He's doing. Just keep moving in silence until He makes it loud. If your spirit feels this, type 777 right now. It's your seal, it's your agreement with heaven. And stay tuned, because what I'm about to share next will explain why your warfare was so intense. And make sure you're subscribed to join thousands of chosen one souls rising in this very hour, because this generation is waking up. And you're one of its leaders. Stay right here. Because what I'm about to tell you next is the real reason God had to isolate you before He elevated you. The isolation wasn't rejection, it was initiation. God had to pull you away so you could hear Him without the interference. He had to separate you from the noise, from the opinions, from the habits that diluted your spirit. You kept asking, why am I alone? He was answering, because I'm talking to you privately before I present you publicly. Every chosen one goes through the wilderness. Moses did. David did. Even Jesus withdrew to pray in silence. You've been in that same place. Quiet, stripped, wondering why the phone stopped ringing, why the people you trusted disappeared. It wasn't abandonment. It was alignment. In solitude, your ears opened. Your discernment sharpened. You began to notice what energy drained you, what voices distorted you, what patterns kept you stuck. That's the miracle of isolation. It shows you who you are when there's no audience. And now that you know, you'll never go back to pretending again. Comment 7. If you feel this revelation settling in your chest, the understanding that loneliness was actually training. Because the moment you accept that truth, the wilderness turns into the workshop of destiny. God says, I didn't hide you to punish you. I hid you to prepare you. You were never behind. You were being built. Look back for a second. Every heartbreak taught compassion. Every failure taught wisdom. Every delay taught patience. All the ingredients are finally mixed. The recipe is ready. Now the world will taste what I've been cooking inside you. You see, the anointing doesn't come from comfort. It's forged in the fire of being misunderstood. That's why your story hits deeper. Because you've lived what you preach. You've cried the prayers you now encourage others to pray. You carry empathy that can't be faked, strength that can't be taught, and peace that can't be stolen. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you chosen. So stop apologizing for your intensity. Stop dimming your light so others feel comfortable in the dark. Stop explaining your purpose to people who still speak the language of fear. You don't owe explanations. You owe obedience. And obedience, even when it isolates you, always leads to overflow. Remember this, every great unveiling begins with a quiet season of obscurity. Diamonds form under pressure. Prophets form in silence. Leaders form in loneliness. So the quiet was never empty. It was full of instruction. Now the trumpet is sounding. Heaven is announcing, come forth. It's time. Step out of the hiding place with no guilt, no hesitation, no doubt. You've been refined, not reduced. The version of you that's emerging is fearless. You no longer seek permission to exist. You carry divine authorization, and that means every room you walk into shifts. Atmospheres bend. Darkness retreats. That's the kind of presence isolation produces. A stillness so anchored that nothing can shake it. Type 777. Again, if you receive that strength, because you're not just surviving solitude anymore, you're mastering it. When God isolates you, He anoints you with focus. When He releases you, He surrounds you with favor. You're moving from isolation to elevation, from being overlooked to being undeniable. Doors that ignored you before will open on their own this time. People who underestimated you will come back confused, wondering how you built so much in silence. You'll smile and simply say, God did it while I was alone. And that testimony will carry power, because it's not theory, it's lived truth. Listen carefully. The solitude you once feared has become your sanctuary. Keep it. Protect it. Because peace is the new currency of success. If something costs your peace, it's too expensive. You don't chase validation anymore. You protect vibration. You've learned to listen to the small voice that says, this is not for you, and walk away without explanation. That's spiritual maturity. That's divine confidence. So when you step back into the world, don't rush. Move with purpose. Speak with clarity. Act with certainty. The same God who met you in the quiet is walking beside you in the crowd. And when people ask where you went, tell them, I didn't disappear. I was being developed. Chosen one, your isolation season was never about losing people. It was about finding yourself. And now that you've found you, get ready. Because the unveiling starts now. The unveiling begins quietly. It doesn't start with applause or spotlight. It starts with a whisper in your spirit that says, this is it. Move. You'll know it's time not because doors creak open slowly, but because they swing wide without resistance. You won't have to force anything anymore. When God says, go, everything aligns. And here's the thing, it won't look how you imagined. The blessing rarely does. It will show up in faces you didn't expect, in opportunities that make you nervous, in timing that interrupts your plans. But that's the beauty of divine timing. It doesn't wait for your schedule. It fulfills your purpose. So when it happens, don't question it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't shrink to fit the moment. Rise to meet it. Because this is what you prayed for when you cried in silence. This is what every lonely night was building toward. The preparation is over. The presentation begins. God says, I'm about to put you where your name will be known for my glory, not your ego. And that's why you had to be broken first, so pride couldn't live in the place he's taking you. You've already died to ego. You've surrendered the need to be seen. That's why he can trust you now. Every great destiny requires humility as its foundation, and yours was carved deep. You'll notice the shift. Peace will replace panic. Clarity will replace confusion. What once felt forced will now flow. Because when you're aligned with heaven, you don't chase, you attract. You won't need to beg for a seat at the table. God is preparing a table for you. And not in private, right in the presence of those who doubted you. They'll see it and wonder how. How did you survive everything meant to destroy you? How did you turn pain into power so effortlessly? And you'll simply say, it wasn't me, it was grace. Grace, that quiet, relentless current that carried you through the nights you thought you'd drown. Grace, the reason you're still standing when others folded. Grace, the invisible hand that wrote hope into your heartbreak. Grace built you. You didn't grow because it was easy. You grew because you refused to quit. And now, heaven is rewarding your endurance. God says, because you stayed faithful in the small, I'm releasing the overflow in the great. The waiting wasn't wasted. Every second counted. You were being perfected. Not in performance, but in patience. That's why your strength feels different now. It's not loud, it's not desperate. It's calm, unshakable, grounded in knowing, not guessing. And that calm will confuse the enemy. Because the devil thrives in noise, but you've learned to live in stillness. That's what happens when you walk with God long enough. You stop reacting, you start responding. You stop doubting, you start discerning. You stop chasing peace, you become peace. Comment 777. If that truth hit you deep, because that's your new identity. You don't carry chaos anymore, you carry calm. Everywhere you go now, people will feel it. They'll feel safer near you, more grounded, more hopeful. Not because of what you say, but because of what you radiate. Your presence is now ministry. Your energy is now testimony. Your life is now evidence. Evidence that God still restores, that miracles still happen, that faith still works. So stop downplaying what you carry. Stop second-guessing the anointing on your life. Stop wondering if you're ready. You are. You were never waiting on the right moment. The moment was waiting on you to become the right person. And now you are. God says, step into it boldly. I've already gone ahead of you. You're not walking into uncertainty. You're walking into fulfillment. Every step you take is already prepared. And when doubt tries to creep in, remember this. You didn't come this far on luck. You came this far on promise. Promise keeps what effort can't. The same hand that carried you through the fire will crown you in favor. So walk, talk, create, build, move. Knowing heaven backs you, and while you walk, don't forget, you're not alone in this calling. There are others rising with you, other chosen ones awakening across the world, each one hearing the same whisper. Now. That's why this message found you, because the movement has begun. Heaven is mobilizing its remnant, and you're part of it. If you're still here, listening, you're proof that destiny always finds its own. And what's next? Greater clarity, greater opportunities, greater peace. Because your wilderness has expired and your season of revealing has officially begun. Stop trying to understand everything right now. Take a breath. Because this is the part where everything you've been waiting for starts to make sense. For too long, you've been carrying the weight of the world, believing that maybe you missed your chance. You've been asking yourself, why did it have to be so hard? Why did I have to lose so much? But hear this. Every loss, every heartbreak, every lonely night was the very tool that shaped you into who you are now. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Nothing was meaningless. The fire didn't come to destroy you. It came to reveal what was real in you. Because the truth is, you were never ordinary. You were never meant to walk an easy path. You were built differently. You were designed for impact. You were chosen for a reason far greater than comfort. And now, everything that once broke you is about to bless you. There's a shift happening right now. Not tomorrow, not next year, right now. Something in the unseen is aligning on your behalf. Doors that refused to open before are unlocking effortlessly. People who ignored your worth are about to see your value clearly. And the same situations that once drained you will now deliver you. But before the blessing comes, you need to stop apologizing for your evolution. You're not cold, you're clear. You're not distant, you're discerning. You're not selfish, you're finally learning to protect your peace. You've spent too long trying to be everything for everyone, and you forgot that your energy is sacred. Now, you're remembering. You're waking up to your divine nature, the light that never left, only dimmed under the weight of survival. And as you remember, you rise. Rise above the guilt of outgrowing people. Rise above the fear of being misunderstood. Rise above the need to prove your worth. Because chosen ones aren't meant to fit in. They're meant to stand out. You carry something that can't be replicated. Purpose. And that purpose will make some people uncomfortable, not because you're doing wrong, but because you remind them of what they gave up on. Let them feel it. You don't need to explain your transformation to those who benefited from your confusion. Stay grounded, stay focused, stay kind, but unbothered. This next season requires emotional discipline. Not every invitation deserves a response. Not every argument deserves your energy. Not every opportunity deserves your yes. You've reached the point where silence is your weapon and peace is your crown. So protect that peace like it's treasure, because it is. And remember, peace doesn't mean everything around you is calm. Peace means you are calm no matter what happens around you. Comment 777. If you're claiming this energy right now, a peace that no one can steal, a strength that doesn't scream, a light that doesn't flicker. Because you're walking into a chapter where your very presence will speak louder than your words. People will start asking, what changed about you? They'll sense it, the glow, the stillness, the quiet authority that comes from surviving what was meant to break you. You won't need to convince anyone that you've grown. Your energy will say it for you. And those who doubted you will have no choice but to respect what they can't explain. That's what divine favor looks like. It doesn't need validation, it just manifests. You are entering a season where things will move quickly. Blessings will multiply suddenly. Opportunities will appear that make no logical sense. And that's how you'll know. It's time. You don't have to chase anything anymore. You don't have to beg, convince, or force, because what's aligned for you will recognize you. You've done the work, you've endured the silence, you've carried the lessons. Now it's time to receive, and receiving isn't about doing more. It's about allowing allowing yourself to believe that you deserve what's coming, allowing yourself to enjoy what you once prayed for, allowing yourself to live without guilt or fear. This is your harvest season. All those seeds of faith you planted in tears are about to bloom in abundance. You didn't lose time, you invested it, and now you're collecting the return. So prepare yourself, not out of anxiety, but expectation. Wake up every day knowing that miracles are already moving in your direction. Walk with confidence, knowing that you are guided, protected, and covered. Because you are. There's a light around you now that darkness can't touch. Every attack that once worked will now fail. Every lie told about you will collapse under the weight of truth. The energy has shifted permanently. You're no longer fighting for victory. You're walking from victory. You've already won the unseen battle. And from here forward, everything about you will reflect that. Your voice, stronger. Your boundaries, clearer. Your focus, sharper. Your blessings, louder. This is not just another season. This is your becoming. The one they counted out is rising. The one they forgot about is being remembered. The one they underestimated is becoming unstoppable. Because you finally understand something they don't. Peace is power. Grace is armor. Faith is strategy. You no longer move from fear. You move from alignment. And that's what makes you dangerous in the best way. You're no longer chasing purpose. You are embodying it. You are no longer seeking signs. You have become one. You are the evidence that transformation is real. And this, right here, is only the beginning. Because the next level of your calling doesn't come with more struggle. It comes with more surrender. Let go of control. Let go of timelines. Let go of needing to know how it'll all work out. You've already seen enough proof that the universe, that God, that divine timing never fails. So rest in that truth. Let faith replace fear. Let gratitude replace worry. Let joy replace survival. You've earned your peace, now live in it. And when things start unfolding, when the opportunities, the people, the answers show up, don't hesitate. Don't shrink. Don't say, I'm not ready. You are ready. Because the same force that carried you through the hardest season of your life is the same force that's walking with you now. You are Sabbath. We're never alone. Not for a second. Every step, every tear, every sleepless night, you are being guided. And that guidance hasn't stopped. So trust it. Trust your instincts. Trust your intuition. Trust that what's ahead is better than what's behind. And as you step forward, remember this truth. The ones who walk by faith don't need to see the whole road. They just need to take the next step. You've taken that step today, right now, just by listening to this. This moment isn't random. This message isn't coincidence. It's confirmation. You've been prepared for this season long before you knew it was coming. So breathe, chosen one. You made it through the breaking. Now comes the building. You survived the fire. Now comes the favor. You endured the wilderness. Now comes the wonder. Your story isn't over. It's unfolding. And the best part, you're finally aware enough to see it happening in real time. So walk with your head high, your heart open, and your spirit grounded. You are chosen. You are guided. You are ready. Comment 77C7 one last time. Not as a wish, but as a declaration. Because this is not just motivation, it's manifestation. The shift has begun. And you, yes you, are the proof. Breath. That's it. That's where the message settles. You've done the hard part. Now it's time to live the rest. You've reached the turning point, that sacred in-between moment where the storm ends and stillness begins. You can feel it, can't you? The air is different. The heaviness that used to sit on your chest is gone. The confusion that clouded your mind is clearing, and for the first time in a long time, you can breathe. This is what peace after the storm feels like. It's quiet, it's steady, it's holy. You're not chasing closure anymore. You're creating clarity. You're not begging to be understood. You're finally understanding yourself. And that's where real power begins. Because the truth is, power isn't loud. It doesn't shout. It doesn't need to prove anything. Power simply is. And you, chosen one, have become it. That quiet confidence radiating from you right now, that spiritual authority. It's what happens when someone walks through fire and comes out with light. You've spent years earning this peace. You've been tested in silence, misunderstood by many, broken by few. But through it all, your spirit stayed intact. That's not luck, that's divine design. You were built to last, and now the universe, God, destiny, call it what you will, is responding to the frequency you've finally stepped into. It's the frequency of surrender, the vibration of trust, the state of flow. You're no longer fighting for what's already yours. You're allowing it to come. And because you've reached this level, your reality will begin to reflect it quickly. So what used to take months will happen in moments. What used to drain you will now disappear. What used to confuse you will now make perfect sense. Because you've mastered the hardest lesson, detachment. You're learning that you can care deeply and still let go. You can love fully and still protect your peace. You can give without losing yourself. That's maturity. That's alignment. That's mastery. So don't be surprised if life starts moving differently now. People may say you've changed. They're right. You've changed direction, you've changed vibration, you've changed dimension. You're no longer on the same level as the version of you who had to beg for peace. Now, peace finds you. You're not chasing validation anymore, because you've already been chosen. You don't need proof of purpose. Your existence is proof. And because of that awareness, the energy around you is shifting faster than ever. You'll start noticing synchronicities again. Numbers, songs, conversations that align too perfectly to be random. Those are confirmations, not coincidences. They're signals from the unseen reminding you you're exactly where you're meant to be. So when something ends now, you won't panic. You'll smile and say, it's alignment. When something new begins, you won't doubt it. You'll say, it's timing. Because your faith has matured from needing signs to being one. And that's what the world feels when they meet you now. You walk into rooms and people straighten their posture without knowing why. Your presence commands attention, not because you demand it, but because your peace speaks louder than noise ever could. Comment 777. Again, if you can feel that truth rising in you right now, that number is not superstition. It's a reminder that you are complete, aligned, whole. This is the era of your wholeness. No more halves, no more fragments, no more waiting for someone else to complete you. You are complete, you are enough, you are ready. And because of that, the blessings meant for you are rushing toward you at full speed. You've cleared the space, you've done the healing, you've released what drained you. Now the blessings have room to land. They're coming, not because you forced them, but because you finally stopped blocking them. You see, blessings don't chase. They flow. They move through alignment, not anxiety. And now that you're aligned, they're finding you effortlessly. So keep your hands open, keep your heart ready, keep your mind clear, because the next few months will bring divine acceleration. Things that took years to manifest will appear in days. Connections will come that feel like destiny. Resources will show up at the exact right moment. And when it happens, stay grounded, stay humble, stay grateful. Don't forget who you were when you had nothing. Don't lose the softness you developed in the silence. Because that humility is your protection. It keeps you untouchable. The higher you rise, the quieter you'll need to be. Not silent out of fear, silent out of wisdom. Not everyone can understand the language of miracles. Protect your frequency. You're not here to convince the doubtful. You're here to confirm the faithful. and the faithful will find you. Your tribe is coming, people who speak your soul's language, who match your energy, who understand your purpose without you having to explain it. When they appear, you'll feel it instantly. A recognition, a peace, a flow. That's divine connection, and together you'll rise. Because chosen ones don't compete, they complete divine assignments. Your success won't threaten them, it'll inspire them. Your light won't blind them, it'll ignite them. This is the new energy entering your life. Reciprocal, peaceful, purposeful. You've outgrown chaos disguised as passion. You've outgrown pain disguised as love. You've outgrown people who only came for your light but couldn't handle your truth. And because you've released all that, you're stepping into a season of divine ease. Not because life is suddenly perfect, but because you finally stopped fighting yourself. Now you move with grace. You speak with purpose. You rest with faith. That's real power. And listen, it's okay if part of you still feels afraid. Growth and fear can coexist. Just don't let fear drive. You can feel the nerves and still walk forward. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move anyway. You've done harder things than this. You've survived what you once thought would destroy you. You've stood tall in rooms that tried to shrink you. You've smiled while carrying storms no one saw. You're more than capable. You're more than ready. You're already chosen. So take this moment, right here, right now, and claim it. Say it out loud. I am walking in divine alignment. I am ready for what's next. I release the old. I receive the new, and I trust that everything meant for me will recognize me. Now breathe. Feel that weight lift. That's the sound of release. That's the vibration of breakthrough. You're free, free from the past, free from fear, free from needing to be understood. This is the new you, calm, clear, radiant, and the world is about to see it. Not because you'll announce it, but because peace like this can't be hidden. Stay grounded, chosen one. Stay grateful. Stay expectant. Because the same light that carried you out of the darkness will now illuminate every step ahead. You're not walking alone. You're walking in destiny. And destiny never misses its appointment. You asked for overflow, and now it's here. But listen closely. Abundance doesn't arrive quietly. It comes with noise, with motion, with eyes watching. And that's where the next lesson begins. Because when your light finally turns on for the world to see, it doesn't only attract good things. It attracts everything, the applause and the envy, the real and the false, the helpers and the takers. That's why you must stay anchored. You prayed for doors to open. They're opening. But the moment they do, you'll feel the pressure to perform, to prove you deserve it, to keep everyone happy. Pause. You don't owe performance. You owe presence. You were chosen because of your heart, not your hustle. Because of your faith, not your fame. Remember that. The new level will try to trick you into old patterns, old fears dressed in new luxury, old doubts wrapped in new compliments. Don't fall for it. Stay simple, stay true, stay kind, but guarded. Every blessing carries a test hidden inside it. Will you still choose peace when you have options? Will you still choose humility when you have recognition? Will you still choose purpose when comfort finally calls your name? This is the silent examination of abundance. And here's the truth. Prosperity doesn't change who you are. It exposes who you already were. If gratitude lived in you during scarcity, it will multiply in plenty. If bitterness hid in you, it will grow louder once you have more. So keep your spirit clean. Talk less, listen more. Give quietly. Pray privately. Move wisely. Because real wealth isn't measured in numbers, it's measured in calm. Peace is still the highest currency. When new people arrive, don't ask, do they like me? Ask, do they bring peace or confusion? Your intuition will answer faster than words ever could. And when old voices return, the ones that once doubted you, don't seek revenge. Seek distance. You don't need to prove anything to the past. You've already outgrown it. Abundance is meant to expand you, not inflate you. So give. Share knowledge. Be generous with love, but careful with access. Your new circle must mirror your new vibration. If peace is the goal, chaos can't have a seat. And when the noise of success gets too loud, step back, touch the ground. Remember who you were when you were still waiting. That version of you, the one who prayed, hoped, and believed, is the root. Never cut off the root that fed the fruit, because blessings without grounding become burdens. Fame without purpose becomes emptiness, but gratitude turns everything into worship. So whisper thank you often. Thank the quiet mornings. Thank the closed doors that protected you. Thank the tears that trained you. Gratitude keeps you golden. You're stepping into influence now. People will watch how you move. Let them see balance, not burnout. Let them see grace, not greed. Let them see peace, not performance. You are proof that divine timing is real. You are living evidence that patience was worth it. So wear your peace proudly. That's your crown. And when doubt visits again, because it will, remind yourself, I didn't come this far to be frightened by blessings. You earned this. You were shaped for this. And every good thing arriving now has your name on it. So breathe, receive, and walk forward. Not with pressure, but with purpose. This is not the end of your journey. It's the beginning of a new assignment. Stay ready, stay humble, stay lit. Because when light stands tall, it doesn't chase shadows. It makes them disappear. After the rise comes the silence. It always does. One day you're surrounded by motion, by messages, by open doors. And the next, it's still. No calls, no noise, just quiet. Don't mistake it for absence. It's alignment again. The same hand that lifted you up is teaching you how to stand still without falling. The stillness after a breakthrough isn't punishment. It's preservation. Because the higher you go, the thinner the air becomes. And only the calm can breathe there. You've already proven you can fight storms. Now you must learn to rest in sunlight. This is where many lose balance. They confuse peace for emptiness. They start chasing noise again just to feel alive. But chosen ones, your power isn't in the rush. It's in the rhythm. You're not built to chase. You're built to flow. So when things slow down, don't panic. Pause. Look around. You'll see signs of life everywhere. Tiny confirmations that heaven hasn't gone silent. It's just speaking softly. The quiet after elevation is when purpose whispers new instructions. If you listen closely, you'll hear them. Protect your energy. Refine your gift. Nurture what you've built. This is the maintenance season, the sacred middle between miracle and mastery. And it matters just as much as the climb. You're learning how to live inside answered prayer. That takes discipline. It takes awareness. It takes gratitude so deep it steadies your hands when blessings overflow. Because abundance without peace is still poverty. So keep your rituals simple. Wake up thankful. Move slow. Touch the earth with bare feet if you can. Remember where you came from. Write down what you're grateful for, even the smallest things. A soft sunrise, a laugh, a meal shared. These are anchors. They keep your heart humble while your name rises higher. And when old anxiety knocks, whisper back, I'm safe even when it's quiet. Because you are. Growth doesn't always roar. Sometimes it hums. Sometimes it hides in rest, in pause, in reflection. You're not losing momentum. You're gaining maturity. The stillness is shaping your focus, sharpening your vision for what's next. You've come too far to let hurry ruin holy timing. So breathe, chosen one. You are not behind. You are being balanced, and balance is what will let you last. Remember, miracles get you noticed, but character keeps you there, and character is built in quiet rooms, not crowded stages. Use this silence wisely. Read, learn, laugh, heal. Let the light reach places that success couldn't touch. Because the goal was never fame, it was freedom. And freedom is exactly what this calm is giving you. Soon, new doors will open again. You'll feel the call to move. But this time, you'll move differently. Without panic, without proving, without pressure. You'll move from peace. You'll build from balance. You'll speak from wisdom. That's the true reward of elevation. Not more, but better. So stay soft, stay real, stay ready. The world needs your calm more than your noise, your light more than your performance, your presence more than your perfection. And when the next season begins, when the sound returns and the pace quickens again, you'll be ready, because you learned the sacred art of resting while remaining radiant. You are living proof that quiet can be holy. So rest, reset, and rise again, peaceful, powerful, and unshaken. There comes a moment when your healing starts to overflow, when what once felt heavy becomes light enough to lift others. That moment is now. You've walked through fire and came out carrying lessons, not ashes. You've learned to speak softly and still move mountains. You've discovered that leadership isn't about being followed. It's about being felt. Every room you enter now changes, because peace walks in with you. People sense it before you say a word. They don't know your story, but their spirit recognizes your stability. That's your next assignment. Not to convince, not to control, to remind. Remind others that calm is possible. Remind them that broken doesn't mean finished. Remind them that light is a choice made again and again. You don't need a stage to teach. You teach by living. Your patience is a sermon. Your kindness is a scripture. Your consistency is a miracle in motion. So stop wondering if you're ready to lead. You already are. Leadership isn't a title. It's a temperature. It's the warmth that steadies a cold room. It's the stillness that stops panic in its tracks. And that's who you've become. When you speak now, words carry weight, because they come from scars that healed, not theories that sound good. The world is starving for that kind of honesty. They don't need perfection, they need presence. They don't need more gurus, they need more grounded souls. And that's you. So share. Share what helped you stand again. Share the mistakes, not just the miracles. Tell the truth about how messy growth can be, because that truth will set somebody else free. You are not called to impress, you are called to impact. If even one person finds peace because of your words, your walk has already changed the world. But remember, to keep pouring, you must keep refilling. Don't give away your quiet. Don't neglect the solitude that taught you strength. Go back to the secret place often, where silence resets your soul and gratitude rebuilds your joy. That's how you stay powerful without becoming proud. Service, not spotlight, will sustain you. The spotlight fades, the work remains, and service doesn't mean shrinking. It means showing up with heart in everything you do. From conversations to creativity, from business to prayer. Whatever your hands touch now, do it with reverence. Every act can be sacred if done in love. You've spent years searching for purpose. Now purpose is living through you. Every message you share, every person you help, every quiet act of compassion ripples farther than you can see. That's legacy. Not what you leave behind when you're gone, but what you build while you're here. So keep your light honest. Let it be strong, but soft. Let it guide, not glare. Because light that blinds can't heal, but light that warms can change hearts. And if you ever doubt your influence, look back at the version of you who once prayed for this peace. You are someone's answered prayer now. The very strength you carry was once a dream in another heart. So walk with humility, but don't hide your glory. You are meant to be seen, not for ego, but for example, to show that faith still works, that kindness still wins, that endurance still pays off. This is the era of your contribution, the phase where wisdom turns into work. You're not done evolving, you're expanding. From student to teacher, from survivor to source, from chosen one to guide. And you will teach best not by preaching, but by being exactly who you are. Because authenticity is contagious. Stay grounded, stay gentle, stay generous. You're not here to be perfect, you're here to prove that growth is possible. So keep shining, keep serving, keep walking with that quiet fire inside you. And when the day feels heavy again, because even teachers get tired, whisper to yourself, I'm still chosen, I'm still guided, and I'm still becoming. Then breathe and start again. So here we are. The journey that started with confusion now ends in clarity. The road that once felt endless now makes perfect sense. Look at you. You made it through nights that tried to swallow you. You kept walking when the map was gone. And now you stand where peace finally meets purpose. This is not the finish line. It's the beginning of a new rhythm, a slower, wiser, gentler way of living. You've learned that strength isn't about pushing harder. It's about knowing when to rest. That faith isn't about shouting. It's about trusting quietly. That love isn't about rescuing everyone. It's about remaining kind while protecting your soul. Every scar has become scripture now. Every fall has become foundation, and every delay has become direction. You no longer chase the light. You are the light. You no longer beg for signs. You walk as one. The world will keep changing, fast and loud, but you've discovered something the noise can't touch. Stillness. That's your superpower now. So guard it. Guard your mornings. Guard your peace. Guard the silence that built your strength. Use your words carefully. They build worlds. Use your time wisely. It's holy ground. And use your heart fully. It's how heaven moves through you. When people ask what changed, tell them, I stopped running from who I am. Because that's the truth. You didn't find the light. You remembered it. You remembered that peace is natural, that joy is possible, that purpose is patient. And now you carry that memory for others. Every act of kindness, every calm decision, every honest word. It all plants hope in places that have forgotten how to grow. You are the proof that healing is real, that endurance works, that faith still wins. So as you step forward, don't rush to fill the silence. Let it hum like a heartbeat beneath everything you do. Let it remind you that quiet is sacred. The storm has passed, the light remains, and if ever another storm comes, and one day it will, remember this. You've already been through worse and come out shining. You are not fragile anymore. You are forged. Carry gratitude like armor. Let humility be your compass, and let love be the language you speak, even when words fail. Because the chosen are not chosen to be perfect. They're chosen to be present. Right here, right now. Alive, awake, aware. Take one more deep breath. Feel how light your chest has become. That's the sound of completion. That's the peace you prayed for finally answering back. You've done enough. You've become enough. You are enough. And from this point on, may your days be steady, your nights be gentle, and your path be clear. Walk forward with open hands and an unshaken heart. Everything you've been seeking is already within you. Now go live it. Soft pause. Thank you for listening, for staying, for believing. Like this video if it spoke to you. Subscribe to join thousands of souls walking this same awakening. And comment 7 at September 7 one last time. As a seal of peace, completion, and divine alignment, you are seen, you are guided, and your story has only just begun.